Well, joining me live in studio this morning is Ryan Donnelly from the Tanglewood Nature Center alongside Rupert, who I hope you guys can see. We'll get a close in on him in just a bit, but thank you for joining me this morning, Ryan.
Thank you for having me.
Now, tell us about Rupert here. He's got quite some years on him.
Exactly, yeah. So Rupert, he's one of our older animal ambassadors. He's about 28 years old, and he's an eastern box turtle. So you can find them in this area. And one of the cool things about eastern box turtles is it's in their name, is they kind of look like a box, but it's also their defense mechanism too. If I lift him up a little bit, you can see on the underside he has this little bit, it looks like almost like break in his shell, but what that actually is an adaptation. So when he gets scared, kind of like he is right now, I'll set him back down. If he gets super scared, he can pull himself into a shell like he's doing right there, but also use that hinge to close himself up and completely protect his face from any predators.
That's a really good survival
yeah,
skill to have
exactly.
there. And you're mentioning to me earlier that he's in his hibernation period right now.
Exactly, yeah. Out in the wild, a lot of these turtles and reptiles in general go into this state called brumation, which is kind of like hibernation, except it might involve sleeping, but it's usually just typified by a slower metabolic rate. So their heart rate's slower, their diet's a lot less, so they can kind of survive this winter when there's not as much resources. And Rupert himself, if he was out in the wild right now, he would burrow down maybe under some leaves, under a fallen over tree, and just kind of wait out winter. And hopefully he'll be out and about soon in spring. So
yeah, I know. It sounds like Rupert could definitely survive a New York winter.
Exactly.
What's his typical meal look like throughout the day?
So he is an omnivore. So Rupert, he pretty much eats anything, and he's a generalist species, so he'll eat pretty much at the Nature Center. We feed him strawberries, blueberries, lettuce, but we also feed him frozen pinky mice as well as worms too. His favorite meal are earthworms. So.
Earthworms,
yep.
Fine dining there.
Exactly.
And where is he typically native to?
So you can find him here in New York. You can find any, there's multiple species of box turtles in the U.S., so they go from here all the way down to the south. They're usually typified by large areas of forests. They usually like swamps as well. That's their main habitat that they live in.
Yeah, and considering he's been with the Nature Center for, you mentioned, was it 28 years now?
Yeah, about so.
What's a fun fact about him folks can learn about when they go to visit the center?
Oh yeah, so one of the things that I always like to talk about is his eye color. So you can see he has these really kind of reddish eyes, and that's one of the ways you can tell the difference between a male and a female box turtles. Males, for the most part, they tend to have these really bright red eyes that kind of have them stand out, while females, they can have red eyes, but their eyes usually tend to be more kind of a brownish or a kind of more muted color to help them blend in out in the wild.
And now we're just some weeks away from spring, going to get out of those winter blues pretty soon. What can those visiting the Nature Center expect in terms of events coming up?
Yeah, so our event that's coming up is our Bluebird Walk and Talk. It's led by our executive director, Elaine, and she loves bluebirds. She's an expert on the field, so what she'll do is she'll give a little bit of a talk, and then we'll go out and look for bluebirds out on the trails of Tanglewood, so it's a lot of fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun. And what's the best way to sign up for that?
So that one you can find it online, and you can always check our Facebook, social media, that sort of stuff for our Bluebird Walk and our other events as well.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ryan, and thank you, Rupert, for coming in this morning. I hope I didn't wake you up too much, but that does it for us here for Tanglewood Tuesdays. We'll have all that information you need to know up on our website at WENY.com.